is Manapouri. There are no roads to the construction site deep in the heart of Fiordland, and it's reached only by 1 hour's fast cruise, and the Fiordlander reaches the west arm of the lake. This scheme, where the waters of Lake Manapouri will be carried 6¼ miles under the mountains to Deep Cove in Doubtful Sound, is a new departure in powerhouse construction in New Zealand. The huge powerhouse is built 700 feet underground, and the water will drop from the west arm of the lake to the powerhouse and then be released through the 6-mile tunnel to the sea. Work on the project is being carried out at the top and bottom of the scheme at the same time. Completely isolated and fully self-contained, the camp on the Manapouri side houses the men building the powerhouse side of the project. The weather isn't many people's idea of a perfect climate, but living conditions for the men are fairly good. In such an isolated area they have to be, and the men have good food and facilities to make living as comfortable as possible. Stage in construction was the 1⅓ mile long access tunnel which spirals down to the powerhouse machine hall. With work in the machine hall nearing completion, the intake gate shafts are sunk. After this, the penstocks to lead into the machine hall. Day and night, trucks rumble in and out of the access tunnel. The access tunnel was under construction for just under 2 years. At the face, work conditions were extremely difficult. Movement was limited, visibility was restricted with thick dust, fumes and water vapor. Seepage was great. Huge pumps worked ceaselessly, moving thousands of gallons of water from the face. As each new section was drilled, then blasted, huge machines called muckers moved in to load the rubble onto giant trucks for haulage to the surface. Work was in 24-hour operation, but the going was relatively slow, the excavated material being hard granite. The machine hall itself, over 100 yards long, 60 feet wide, and as high as an 8-story building, will house 7 turbines, but only 4 of these will be installed initially. Now filled with the noise of drills and trucks, the machine hall will, after 1970, echo with the hum of generators. To speed haulage of rubble to the surface, a high-speed lift shaft is used as well as the trucks. Back to the surface, where the control gate shafts are being sunk. Into these shafts will go the gates, which will control the water flow down the penstocks below them. Once again, the rock is hard granite, and the work goes on for 24 hours a day. Transport between Manapouri and Deep Cove was by Mallard amphibian. Now the road over which the heavy machinery for Manapouri will come winds over the Wilmot Pass. The Mallard lands in Deep Cove, Doubtful Sound. In the background is the Wanganella, the old Trans-Tasman liner, now used as a hostel for the men. This is tough country for machinery, and at Deep Cove a large repair shop is continuously busy, servicing and maintaining all construction and transport machinery. Supplying electricity for a project on electricity, in itself a powerhouse of no mean size. At full output, these generators could provide domestic electricity for a city the size of Invercargill. No construction refuse is wasted. Rubble, excavated from the tail race tunnel, goes through a crushing plant, and so to the mixers for the concrete lining of the tunnel. Work on the 6¼ mile tail race tunnel leading from the powerhouse to the sea has been tough going too. The job here is also round the clock 6 days a week. Electric locos shoot backwards and forwards into the hole in the mountain. Conditions here are cramped, although the completed tunnel will be 10 yards in diameter when lined. Matters are complicated by a complex system of railway tracks at the face, where every movement of muckers and trucks must be closely coordinated to prevent accidents. Also taking up space are the pumps sucking 10,000 gallons per minute from the face. The tunnel is being lined with concrete, but there are still the odd places to be filled. In early 1970, New Zealand can expect to benefit from the completion of her largest power scheme to date, Manapouri, our first electric plant to operate entirely underground.